US stock jumped on Monday on encouraging early stage data for potential coronavirus vaccine and on the promise for more stimulus to lift the economy beaten down by the pandemic. Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 912 points, S&P 500 rose 90 points and Nasdaq Composite 220 points. India backs a joint effort by Australia and European Union calling for an independent inquiry into WHO's response to COVID pandemic. Draft resolution also demands evaluation of possible food and animal related sources that could have led to spread the virus. As India enters lockdown 4, the country records the biggest single day spike in coronavirus cases, 5,242 new cases added in last 24 hours alone. 50% of the cases come only from 5 cities. Here is a report by ET Now.
Yes to interstate movement of passenger vehicles and buses, but that needs the mutual consent of the states. Autos and cabs too can comply. Already, Uber has brought in a bunch of safety features for its drivers and riders. The cab aggregator has added an online checklist with mask verification and new limits on the number of seats to ensure safer commute. Only 2 passengers are allowed in a cab and both to be seated in the rear. For e-commerce players, the list of items they can deliver in the red zones has been expanded to non-essentials. Despite relaxations in Lockdown 3.0, e-tailers were forced to focus on delivering non-essentials only in the smaller cities because most of the major ones were in the red zone. And remember, the metros make up about 70% of all e-commerce orders. Moreover, starting today, all shops except those in malls and containment zones can open. Private and government offices too have been allowed to function with limited capacity in the red zones. But reopening of educational institutions and places of worship are still off the list.
Tata Consumers acquires 50% stake of PepsiCo stake in JV Norisico Beverages. Indiabull Housing allots redeemable NCDs of 1,030 crores to 4 large Indian public sector banks. Vedanta Resources informed exchanges late evening on Monday that the company's board has approved the listing offer proposed by one of its promoter group company, Vedanta Resource Limited. The company also informed that the floor price of the delisting proposal is 87 rupees 25 paise and which is determined in accordance with SEBI delisting regulations. And Vedanta Resources also informed its willingness to accept equity shares tendered in the delisting offer at a price of rupees 87.50 that will be the indicative offer price. However, the final offer price of the delisting proposal will be determined in accordance with the reverse book building mechanism set out in the delisting regulations. This is FIIs derivative data which we have indicated last trading session that FIIs have gone heavily short onto the index futures, and we have seen in today's trading session the Nifty going 300 points and Bank Nifty moving down around 1200 points. Now what happened in today's trading session? Let us see that 45,470 contracts were short on net basis for the day, and we have seen in last 3 trading session they have steadily slowly reduced their long positions and steadfastly they are increasing their bearish bet. Every day around more than 10,000 contracts were added to the short position, and in last trading session 15,943 contracts were gone short. So that is why we have seen the 45,000 contracts they were on net basis they were short. And the put positions, we have seen a consolidation in the put position, net put position, while we have seen a reduction in the call side. So net this is indicating that more downside to come because the FIIs segment has gone heavily short in index future. This is USDINR 30 minutes chart. We have seen it approaching towards the supply line of 76.10, then again slipping into the same range. So for the next trading session, if it sustains above 76.10, then only one should go long in for a target of 76.40 to 76.45. This will act as a strong resistance going forward, and again if does not sustain above 76.10, the USDINR may again skid to 75.96 to 75.80 kind of level, because that will again be a range bound kind of activity will again continue in the USDINR for the day. So definitely one should watch out for these levels in coming trading session. This is Nifty 30 minutes chart for last 20 days, and we are indicating in last so many trading sessions that the Nifty chart is making a bearish kind of formation, and it moved finally in line with our expectation. We have seen a 300 points fall in last trading session. Now what will be the price point which will be important going forward will again be 8920. Should be watched very keenly whether the market is going up from there. 8920 quite important for moving up. Now the next level will come around 9040, 9050, because in today's trading session when market was falling, so it was acting earlier as a quite good support. Now that same level will act as a resistance going forward, and finally 9140 will be seen as a strong hurdle going forward. So these levels should be watched. On the downside, 8800 will act as a strong support. This is Bank Nifty 30 minutes chart. We have indicated earlier in our earlier coverage that Bank Nifty is making more bearish formation than Nifty, and in today's trading session we have seen Bank Nifty down 6.6%, while we have seen a cut of around 3% in Nifty. So that way it moved in line with our expectation. And now what will be the level going forward, since it has already made a bearish formation and moving down? So 17,800 should be keenly watched for tomorrow coming trading session, and if it moves up then one can go long till 18,300, which will again come as a hurdle, and the bigger hurdle which overall the formation which was bearish, that formation is coming around 18,800 to 19,000 kind of level, which will again act as a very strong resistance going forward. So these are the levels to keep watch for coming trading session, and as and when the opportunity arise, one should take a call onto the trading this Bank Nifty. If you find any meaningful information in this video, then subscribe my channel and press bell icon to get future notifications.